All right. Welcome, CSL. It is another year almost in the books. We are in the conference finals right now. So good luck to the four remaining teams. We have Sacramento and Portland in the West, just to give an ode to the teams that are actually participating still. Um, two powerhouses still going at it there. And then in the East, we have the Sixers and the Knicks. And Andrew's been MIA for God knows how long, so who knows where he is. I have my guesses, but I'll keep those comments to myself. But should be a good finals, whoever comes out of both conferences. But in the meantime, for the rest of the teams and really the bottom feeders for the most part, um, this is the fun part: is the draft lottery. So we've been letting the game run this for several years now, just because of this beautiful presentation they give us and these beautiful graphics. But I'm here. I'm MPlep7. I'm here with league MVP, annual league MVP, TJ. So why don't you introduce yourself? Say something to the fans. They've all been clamoring for this moment, this twice a year moment. You're not gonna say anything, TJ? Okay. TJ's not gonna say anything, I guess. So, um, he gets a little shy at this time of year, so I can't blame him. But I'm gonna let him. I'm gonna let him have his moment. So we are gonna get started on the draft lottery this year. So you can see we posted the current odds. Um, we are going to go through just like we do every year. We'll add them. Um,
Can you hear
we'll
me now?
go through. Oh, I could hear you now, TJ.
There you go. See, this is why I get paid the big bucks because I know how to iron out technical
Technical
difficulties.
difficulties, good.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right?
I thought I was gonna have to fly solo for a while here.
Yeah, no, I would never let you do that. I mean, you're
I
very
appreciate it.
well. I guess I am very impressive in doing two voices at once, as this is John's second account checking in here. But
Well,
you know,
with AI technologies advancing, it makes it a
exactly.
lot easier for me. So really adds another layer. But yeah,
Just
so
just the experience you put forward here.
this is it. This is what we pay for. All the money we make goes to TJ's salary for these draft lottery. So um but yeah, so here we are, bottom feeders. TJ, you've been sitting in this group for quite a while now. I
I'm
think
just
you enjoy
primed.
it.
I'm just primed for my strike. It's coming. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I feel like you're just gathering young talent. And
Well, I mean, what happened to the Sixers, man? I like to say somebody here might be somewhat responsible for the path of that team, that franchise.
are you saying that you're like the Sixers or more like
No, I'm
okay,
just
like
like
real life
the
Thunder?
see it. No, the CLS Sixers. I had a hand in, giving that team a foundation.
The CLS is our partner corporation. The CSL is the current.
That's what I
I know,
meant.
I know you
Sorry,
get you're used in
sorry. It's
several
a
leagues. You're
Freudian
the
slip. A
you're the
Freudian slip.
spokesman for several leagues, but this is
Hey,
the CSL. Let's try to keep it together here, will we? Um,
absolutely not.
but yeah, so for the rest of the teams, or at least half the league, this is where all the fun starts. So we're not in the off season yet. We'll be there, I guess, in a week and a half or 2 weeks. We'll be there. But this is the start of the excitement here to see where everyone is picking. Everyone loves the draft. I don't know, TJ, how familiar you are with the draft class this year. Um,
I'm so familiar.
what are your impressions about this class? Where are its strengths based on your, extensive knowledge?
Well, you see, as somebody that's participating in a pretty good strategy or spot here in this draft, I don't know if I want to give you all that information, right?
Oh, okay.
You
So a
have to
little bit of
subscribe, like and
strategy.
subscribe to my personal account,
Okay.
much like stock tips. I can give you all that through
All
that
right.
through that media
I can respect
medium.
that.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, I think this is it's a solid draft. Not the strongest draft based on my take, but what do I know? I know nothing really. Um, but based on the scouts that I've seen, it's definitely, the front court isn't too deep. I feel like there's one or two maybe game changers, but otherwise it's a bunch of just nice nice role players. Um, but the backcourt, I think, is where this class is probably its strength. So we'll see, depending on team needs, kind of where everyone goes. I'm interested to kind of see where that happens. But yeah, it should be an interesting draft as always. It's always exciting. Draft is exciting, even if the class isn't that strong. It's always exciting. So,
Best part of my year.
yep. Oh, I know. So, all right. Well, let's jump into it here. No one wants to hear us go back and forth on our weak thoughts on
I
this
could listen
draft
to you
class.
talk all day, John.
I know. I know. I appreciate that. Um, but yeah, so these are the lottery odds posted on the site as well, just for everyone's reference. But they're also here in beautiful graphic form provided by DDS. Thank you, Gary. Um, so you can see, just to recap, top three odds: Warriors, Suns, and your Pacers. Following that, it's the Celtics, Raptors, Nets. Then we have the Lakers. Then we have, this is the Timberwolves pick, but it's actually owned by Sacramento. Surprise, surprise. Teams continue to give the Kings premium picks, and this is
Yeah, the
that.
taxes and giving them
Yeah,
picks.
these teams just keep giving them great picks, but I feel like this is the zone you want to land in if you're in the lottery, because these are the picks that move the most. This is usually the dead zone. I don't think we've seen the number one, even though these are all the same odds, the number one team land number one in I don't even know how many years. It's been a long time. So
That's why I try to position myself in that 2, 3, 4
yeah,
zone.
this is a solid spot. I would never want to be here. This is a solid spot. This, I feel like, is where we always see the most movement. Very little movement here, although I think we did see it last year, and I don't think we've ever seen movement here. So, but who
First
knows?
time
Maybe
for
this is,
everything.
yeah,
That's
maybe
right.
we have history in the making. So, um, we shall see. But let's get started. So, 14th pick here. Um, this belongs to the Pelicans. However, Miami owns the pick. Now, this pick is unique in that there is top 10 protection that Tim put on this pick. So if this does move up, Tim gets to keep it. That's the beauty, I guess, of this right now. But um, if it doesn't move up, it stays with Miami. So let's see what happens here. It is sticking with Miami. Surprise, surprise. Like I said, these usually stay um, based on
I
previous
like I like
history.
that
But
graphic that pops up too. It just says burn.
the burn, yeah,
Well, I mean,
Miami burn.
you're hoping for a leap here and burn.
That's true. Pretty funny. Um, so yeah, so Miami's going to get a back end lottery pick here. Um, obviously not a terrible place to be. Anytime you're in the lottery, you never know what can fall into your lap. This is a team that always does well because of coaching. But what are your thoughts about this roster in general? And we can kind of look at the contract situation. They're getting a lot off the books if they
Yeah, I
want to
mean,
in this next year.
having the flexibility with the contracts, it's going to be real nice. They have a lot of ways to go. I mean, you're so late in the draft that, as you said, you're just kind of seeing if any hidden gem kind of falls to you, and it's kind of crapshooting to this point. But
Yeah.
um, they have options. Like you said, I think coaching and strategy are the most consistent thing. So as long as they can pull that forward, they can either continue the ways or rebuild. But I don't know if the pick this late in the draft is gonna be conducive to a full rebuild. Sounds like it's more of like a role player piece here.
Yeah, definitely not a rebuild pick, but I mean, they had a great record, and this roster, I
Yeah,
gotta say, it's not a roster I love, but Silo always gets the most out of his teams. But he has,
a
I
lot
mean,
of work to do. A lot of work
yeah.
to do just because of all those spots opening up.
But my guess is I mean, he's got Hallie on a super cheap deal.
Yep.
Tony Carr will probably pick that up. Patrick Williams plays great for him. Tariq Owens, just a depth player, but Mark Williams, paid for him, but I think he's a solid player. It's really going to come down, what is he going to do with Jared Allen, who is going to be 32 next year. Players not yet declining, but starting to they're right there. So what type of contract would he give him if it's just a short-term contract? And then Donovan Mitchell is going to start declining. Still had a monster year. Um, but he is going to start to see that DDS decline at that 33 age. So, yeah, I guess those are going to really be the big decisions this offseason for Miami, but they'll add a lottery pick, and who knows, maybe they'll trade this for I feel like Miami Silo's good about trading for future picks that end up being better. They have a higher chance of hitting that top five. I feel like so. Um, I don't know. Maybe they do that and kick the can down the road a little bit, but
Well, I think it comes down to the free agent decision, right? So if he's able to sign Allen or whatever, then you can kind of go in that route during the free agency and all. But
yeah,
for whatever reason they're not able to sign him, then maybe it's time to sell shop and see if you can retool. But
yeah,
you
it'll
know,
be interesting.
a lot of flux
Definitely
here.
interesting. A lot of
Hmm.
flexibility. I do think because of this class is, I feel like there are like 4, 5 players who are going to go in the top 4 or 5. Like I think it's pretty clear who's at the top.
Mm.
But then I think there's like a solid bunch of 10 or so players who can go anywhere in there. Like they're interchangeable. So I think that the good thing about this type of draft is at this pick, you're going to get a solid player. You might not get an all-star, um, but you're going to get a player. You're going to get a starter if you draft well, and you're going to get someone who's going to contribute to the team. So
But maybe
not a bad
importantly,
spot.
it doesn't seem like he needs any one role or position here too. So you can kind of take the pick of whoever's left, which is
Yeah.
probably the
Yep.
easiest spot.
Yeah. My guess is, yeah, he's probably going to go. If he go forward, he go shooting guard. Definitely has options, which helps out, and there are a lot of solid players who should be available to him there. So will be interesting, but I think they'll get a good rotational player here at minimum.
Yeah,
But
a lot of work to be done, but sometimes it's a fun thing.
yep, not a bad position to be in. So we shall see. But
There's that burn.
yep, there's your burn for you.
It's the little
So
things.
this one will get conveyed to Miami, which means New Orleans will get their pick next year. They'll retain that pick, and it will not go to Miami. So Miami will keep this pick here. So pick 13 is the Pistons pick. It's actually owned by my team, OKC. Um, but yeah, I was a little bit surprised Pistons were here, but I'm happy with the outcome. So, and it stays in house with OKC. So no movement here. Pretty standard. Like I said, I don't think we've ever seen um, movement at that point in the draft, but
Guys didn't
hoping
pay off John enough.
hoping a little
Better
bit
luck
that there
next
would
year.
be, this would be the first, but that would just be just spoil us. We're happy just to be picking here. So, what are your thoughts about this loser roster who lost in
Wow. I
Game
mean,
Seven of
you
the
can't
first
even.
round? Yeah, they're
Well, I
all
mean, I
losers.
feel like your team is not going to show you any kind of positive.
I don't care.
If you're just going to sell them up the river like this.
I would say they clearly sold me down the river by
Mm.
choking, but some would say it's on the coach. The
Yeah.
players perform, but the coach couldn't adjust.
Yeah.
Um, who's to say? A lot of articles written on it, but yeah. What are your thoughts on
Well, I
this
mean,
roster?
again, you're the regular season darling here, right? It's just about delivering in the clutch. I mean, you kind of mixed here. You have some pretty decent contracts. You don't have to completely retool next year, which is nice. Um, what are you looking for here? I don't want to put words in your mouth. What are you looking for here?
Do you think I'm going to give up my secrets too? I can't give up too
Okay,
much
just
about
making
my
sure. I mean, well, again,
strategy here, but
you could sell your secrets on your sub,
that's
your
true.
media outlets.
Maybe I'll look to do that. But no, my
Ask the CLS, they'll tell you.
I'm a BPA type guy.
Yes,
I'm not looking for fit. I figure BPA you could always trade and get find fit later if you need to. But um, yeah, I mean we don't really have too many big contracts outside of Kuminga and this Tyrese
that's the
Eason
nice
one.
part. Yeah, you're not
But we
really worried about that as far as I'm concerned.
yeah, these two I'm looking to re-sign, so it'll be interesting to see what they have. I have the space to re-sign them if I need to, but um, definitely some options on the table
We'll
here.
see
But
who falls to you in the draft too. Maybe you can save some money in free agency.
yeah, yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm really just going to see how the draft board falls to us and just take who I see as the best player who's
Yeah, I
left.
don't
And
think you have a lot of work to do here. You pretty much have your core. Just kind of, like I said, making some decisions here and see who falls to you. And maybe that makes your free agency a little easier, a
yeah,
little less, taxing.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Not too interesting, but I do see a couple trades coming down the line, so we'll see. We'll see what happens, but yeah, to be honest, I'm just gonna go BPA. I don't have any true like position that I'm chasing at this point,
It's always
especially
the
not one
safest
that's
way to
gonna.
go. Safest route, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Get that
I don't
tunnel
expect
vision,
it.
you always screw yourself.
Right. Yep. So we will see, but yeah, just gonna look forward to letting everyone, the 12 teams ahead of me, do their thing and hope
It's
someone
very
makes a
courteous of
mistake.
you.
Yeah,
If
but
anyone thought he didn't have integrity, here's John at his finest.
there you
Keeping
go.
chalk.
Yep. All right, so pick 12 supposed to go to Washington, and it stays at Washington. So Wizards definitely, Gary always makes a lot of moves. Not a surprise there. Um, I feel like he is the king of changing direction about 28 times throughout the season. I think this year was really no different. I think they're going to have a lot of options on the table. But what are your thoughts here with Washington? What they need, what their offseason is going to look like?
Yeah, I mean, again, their contract situation ain't too bad either. Just like the two, what do you got, Edwards and Kuma, are the only Kuzma's the only two big contracts here. I mean,
Yeah, and they're probably going to decline that, is my guess.
exactly. So I mean, you work around those two, but I mean, there's not a lot of, you know, there's plenty of spots to fit anyone in this draft in, especially at this point of the draft. So BPA all the way, in my opinion. Um, you know, maybe I don't know, but you said it wasn't really too deep of a front court draft either, right? So
Not a deep front. There's like one good big man who has he has his
his
weaknesses
warts, but
that'll
yeah,
hold him back a little bit, but otherwise there's some solid, like I said, you get a starter, fourth, fifth starter maybe, but no one who's going to really dominate based on what I've seen so far. So, which is fine. It's not like every draft needs dominant big men.
sure, sure.
But yeah, so
I think
yeah, I agree.
yeah, but I think you're
They
right
can
when
go
you say you
anywhere.
just gotta stick to your guns and go with a direction. I think the more you change your mind and retools when you kind of shoot yourself in the foot and you can't really, you know, get yourself a good standing. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like Jameer Nelson Jr. to be honest. I think he was a good pickup from Golden State. They made a trade there. Anthony Edwards, I really used to like him, and then he started kind of showing that he's not too much of a difference maker. But they were winning. Washington was doing good. Um, Kuzma played well. I'm assuming they're declining that. After that, he doesn't really have anyone that's
yeah, I
like,
mean, just the one big contract on the book. So you can do a
yeah,
lot of things there, and maybe you can get creative and offload Edwards if you want to go a different direction. You probably get something for him.
yeah. They have
Get
Reeves who
rid
they
of
have
the
to
contract.
re-sign.
Yep.
So that'll be yeah, I guess they had a couple rookies who played well. Yeah, they had a couple rookies who actually performed pretty well. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I think they're in another situation to just take it how the board falls to them, but I'm hoping they make a mistake and let someone nice
Why
fall
would you
into
say
our
that?
lap. So,
Just after I gave
I'm
you all
just
those good graces about being a,
being
none.
a realist here.
Hmm.
So try to screw up, Gary. I'd appreciate it. Um All right, so next, pick 11. The odds say Milwaukee, and the lottery says
Mm.
Milwaukee. So still no movement. First four picks in. Milwaukee is. I was actually hoping Milwaukee bumped up. I feel like they could use an influx of talent, but they're never bad enough to pick super high. They're kind of in this middle ground, I feel like, and I feel like they need to get out of this. So a nice high pick
Yeah,
would have helped them. Um,
it's always tough to be in this limbo spot where you're competing just enough to eliminate yourself from those high draft picks, and you
Yeah, and
kind of always
Manu,
sentimental it.
he's got too much pride to ever
Hey,
tank.
it's
Like
not
that's
that it's
not
a
his.
bad thing, right? That's
No,
good
it's a good
for
thing. Yeah,
competition, but at some point you almost have to tip your cap and pull yourself out of the race if you just continuously spin your wheels here in the middle, right? But hey,
yeah,
I
yeah. I think
do like,
it's tricky, but
yeah,
kid.
I do like the idea of competing just to that trade deadline, just to see if something falls to you, then maybe you can kind of go for it. But you can stagnate yourself real quick if you kind of work with that mentality too.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean they have some big. Their off season is going to be limited. They have some big contracts on the books. They are going to lose Marquise Bolden's 10 million, and a couple millions here and there. So they'll drop their cap, but they're not going to have cap space to actually make any moves. So
So you ask yourself, is this the time to move on here? You know.
yeah, it'll be at the trade market's always tricky. You need someone to fall in love with one of these players, and I think like Fultz is, he's 30 years old. Our league is very is not kind once you hit that 30 number. Troy Brown, 30 years old, good player, but is someone going to really want him and wants to go for it? Nasir Little still has, he'll be 29 next year. Gafford, really solid player, will be 31, once next year comes around. So they have these good core players who are all at the same age. Like they're all so. It's just a matter of would someone trade for them? Would Manu even entertain that, or is he? I feel like with him, he's going to try to build around that core and kind of see what happens there. But
You always got to find a buyer to your seller. The hardest thing. You know, you make the decision to sell, but if no one's buying, then kind of a moot point.
we really need to make plaques for all your sayings.
That's
You
right.
know,
Well,
I feel
it's a
like
good thing these things are recorded. You know,
that's
well, there you
true.
go. Maybe, you mentioned a certain setting that you can do within this draft, within this thing. Maybe you build a good montage. People like montage.
People are big on. You've
Mm.
always said that you're a big montage guy.
Big montage. You got to speed things up, but call back never hurt nothing.
Yeah, but this is definitely a team that they need that youth. They need an influx of young. They need their next leader. Like
Yes.
they've been in
Yeah.
under the Troy Brown leadership, Daniel Gafford. This is their core. Has another year or two, I think, and then but they need that next. Who's gonna take who's gonna be on top of the mantle next to really lead this and get the torch from Troy Brown to carry this team to the next decade. However
Yeah.
long it'll be there. But
A lot of effort
um,
required, but
yeah,
there are some assets here to capitalize on.
yeah, they did trade their 2036, which is unfortunate, but so I guess the tank is not coming next year. So this is as good a pick they're getting. They're going to need to really make an improvement this year. Definitely need to improve that scoring. I don't know if that's personnel or coaching or what. Defensively, great, like great defensive team. Offensively, they're probably one of the worst.
Well, I feel like it's always easier to produce offense than it is to defense, so probably not the worst situation to be in.
Yeah, but they'll have some options. Again, I don't know that they're going to be looking for a specific position, but Manu has, I feel like, a specific archetype of player that he looks for. So, based on how his scouts look, he's going to make a board based on certain traits that he falls in love with, similar to like Tim. There's certain traits, certain ratings that if a player checks those off, that's the top of their board, even if they're not the best player available. It's just how they fit. He's very big on fit, which um, I really appreciate. I like that. I
It's good
like
and
that
bad.
he's
Again, kind of going back to that whole tunnel vision thing, right? Sometimes it's nice if you can allow your BPA to dictate your path forward too, right? So, sometimes you won't get the best player available. He might fit your archetype and he might, you know, contribute, but he might not really kind of push the needle on your team up though either.
yeah.
So,
We'll see, but yeah, it's always interesting to see how they draft. So, all right, moving on. Pick 10. The odds point to the Nuggets, and
hmm,
so far still chalk, so no movement.
boring here right
Um,
now.
very boring draft, but I think that's okay. So the Nuggets are actually under new. They have a new GM that just started, so they're in a unique going to be in a unique situation because this is a GM who is new to the league, new to multiplayer leagues, but he has played um, single player DDS, so he's familiar with the team. Um, but it's going to take some time to get adjusted to our, scouting and on trying to pick the right player. So but this is a team that, competed throughout the year, but they're another team who is the old guard is starting to get, old and is going to start going out and they really are kind of have like a blank slate. You can really do what you want here, but what are your thoughts? What do you think they're going to do?
Well, that's probably a good point, right? Having some sort of an old guard this year was more of a getting used to how you want to build this franchise and, competition and what everyone's, competition is going to force you to do, how to build your roster. So now it's time to retool lessons learned from the first year here and go from there. But, not too bad. They got just the one, the one big contract. He's going to hold on to the Frank
Yeah,
contract. So, I mean, survive 1 year. I mean, the draft pick is not there. Not going to really change the franchise all that much, but you're probably 1 or 2 years away to really kind of make some noise. But it seems like they have all their picks and all, right?
they have all their picks. They're missing a second this year, but that's not a big
Well, yeah,
deal.
that's not going to really
Um,
make it change anything.
yeah, it'll be. He has one more year. He's their best player. He's just a beast. I love Frankie. So
But I mean, again, you
um,
can maybe sell him. Maybe you can get something for him if you decide to completely retool. Um,
yeah, they have an interesting. This Aaron F's is he was a great rookie when he came out, but he was an old rookie. Like he's still on
yeah,
his rookie
the
contract, and he's going
compete
to be
now kind of
31.
guys. Yep, I
Yeah.
know them well.
Yep. So he's going to be looking for a new contract, but at 31, how much is a team willing to give him? But
Yeah,
he's
especially
a
where the
contributor. He's a good,
position this franchise in right now.
and your boy Cat still
Still
having
kicking, man.
productive years.
Hey, well,
Still
people know
providing
how to pick
value.
them. My people. I mean, they were always working hard around the clock. They know how to pick them well. But yeah, I
Yep.
mean,
So
it's not a problem here. I mean, I think as far as inheritance is concerned, you could inherit a lot worse situations than this.
yeah, I mean, this really is it's a blank slate. Like it's essentially you do what you want with this team. You
Yep,
make it what you want. If you wanna, you have your picks. So if you're bad for a year, 2 year, 3 years, like it's fine. It's not a big
yep,
deal.
yep.
As long as that he holds on to his picks, I think he'll be fine. So
That's the key.
uh,
Hold on to those picks. Do not let them
hopefully
up.
no one, yeah, don't take
To
the
me, this is not
LA
a buy now
Rams.
situation. So
No, no, this is sell everything you can. It's gonna hurt for a couple years, but the hope is that it pays off. So we shall see, but I think it's a good situation to fall into based on the open teams. I think it's
I mean, you almost don't want to
probably one of the
compete
better
right
ones.
away anyway. You got to learn
No,
how to.
you don't
Yeah,
want that pressure. You want to be able to say,
exactly.
hey, this is a roster that is afforded. Like the Miami Dolphins, you have time to sell everything and turn
Figure it
around
out.
until the fans start to get unruly again. But
Thank you for taking Kevin Patullo from us, by the way. Shout out Philadelphia Eagles. Go Birds.
yeah, there you go. I think he'll be solid in his role.
I'm sure he
As an
will.
offensive consultant.
I wish you guys the best.
Yeah, I know everyone's in Philly's happy about that, but I think he'll be solid down in
Like I
South
said,
Beach.
hope for you guys the best.
Yeah. All right, pick 9. Again, the odds suggest the Clippers. Oh, but we have our first movement, the
Ooh.
Clips, and this will make
And
everyone
look
very
who it
happy.
is. Look who it
Yeah,
is.
so um,
Ooh.
Marcos did have a comment that if the
Look
Kings
at
win,
that.
to please redo it. So I don't know if anyone picked up on it, but we did a really quick edit. The Kings actually won the whole lottery. We had to cancel it in a matter of seconds and flip it
Sure.
around quickly. So
It's the beauty of live television, right?
yeah, so we're getting really quick at editing skills. Um,
Well, you
but
said AI, right? We employed our AI system.
yeah,
What's it
that's
called?
true.
What's it called again? What's the AI system called again?
Which one? There's a
Our
million of them.
AI system.
R
That's
is
the
in our
yeah.
company.
No, CSL, right? Do we have an AI
Oh,
system here?
yeah, I don't know. I got to think of a good name for it.
Okay.
I don't have
Yeah.
a
Well,
name yet.
you got till next draft.
Yeah. But yeah, so the King, so this is Timberwolves pick, owned by the Kings. So BT always in the lottery, even when he's the best team in the league. However, he doesn't have luck this time. He does fall to ninth. However, he always
He'll
drafts
find. I would say he'll
soup
find
like
somebody. He'll
crazy
find
well. Like,
somebody
yeah, I feel like his draft record is probably one of the
perfect.
top 5 in league history with how he not perfect, but he's had a couple picks that are like you could have there was a better player. But for the most part, dude hits on pretty much every draft pick. It's pretty wild. Um, or someone crazy just falls into his lap. So he got Togashi last year, who was I feel like a revelation. I know he had Daniels the year before, but Tagashi, I feel like he really started to pick up once he put Tagashi at point guard, and made this shift. So he started to play. I mean, he got Jalen Wells, who was a solid, very solid rookie last year, but he's always. Oh, he even got Kyle Filipowski. That's right. He traded for him. So, um, yeah. What are your thoughts about this roster? I mean, they were the top in the West.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the rich get richer, right? I mean, the guy just knows how to maintain competitive balance year in year out with selling people, getting draft picks. I feel like this might be a Sam Hinkie burner account here, maybe. The guy just knows
Getting
how to.
Sam's.
Yeah, well, Sam's got to keep his touch on the game while he's not in the league, or supposedly not in the league, but we'll see. But yeah, I mean, it's the roster's balanced. Like you have contribute now, guys. You have decent contract control here. You have your big guns kind of all locked up, so the world's their oyster, right? And they're gonna just keep
Yeah.
keep on, keep on, keep on in here, right? Uh,
Keep on keeping on.
keep on, keep it on. Keep on. But
Yeah.
yeah, just a glut of riches, and the rich get richer as usual. So nothing I can say will probably help. So you might as well just mute me in this conversation here.
Yeah. I mean, you're just talking. Just
And
I don't even know
using
what you're
just
saying
using the
anymore.
phrases, man. You
Yeah.
gotta use some phrases.
I feel
Throw them
like
out
you've run
there.
out of the phrases. I feel
Zingers.
like you've hit
Well, I
the
mean,
end
again,
the
like
end of
the
the phrase.
well, yeah. Well, again, I can dip into the old YouTube videos too, pull them out. No,
Yeah,
but
there you
yeah,
go.
no
Yeah.
help needed here. No help
No,
needed
they
there.
are I don't know that I feel like they always go BPA, to be honest. I mean, they picked
That's
Dyson Daniels as a top pick the year before and then still picked Yuki Tagashi, even though they didn't have a need at point guard. Like they have
yeah,
Blake Wesley solid, even Brendan Adams is solid depth. Like they have depth throughout this entire, like they don't have any needs. I mean, they drafted this dude who got hurt last year, but he was a beast for them. Like he was their starting center, and he was like a 27th overall pick in like the draft. Like it's just like they get solid contributors no matter where they come from. So
yeah,
he'll be
BPA all the
healthy.
way. They'll find a
Yeah,
way to plug them in, and frankly speaking, if you can get additional depth, a younger guy who's cheaper contract control, I smell another draft pick trade coming on and offloading the additional depth they acquire here, right?
yeah, I could
So
see that. And maybe they even move up. Maybe it's one of those things where they, go for it and say, hey, we were this close, and who knows? They're still going. I think they are up 1-0 over Portland. Um, so a lot's going to depend on how the rest of the year goes, the rest of the postseason goes. So if they
well, I
win it
don't
all,
think
they
it's
might.
going to change that much, even if they win it all or not, or get bounced here, right? I think you
Yeah,
have
but
to stay the
sometimes people
course.
get bored. Sometimes you win and
Well,
you're like, hey,
oh yeah, it's so boring winning and maintaining a
well, you never
a
know.
competition year in year out. I mean, hey, if you want to blow it up just for a challenge, be my guest, but
Yeah,
that's not
crazier things have
necessary here.
happened. There are no fans sending death threats to your house in the CSL. So if you decide to throw it out, throw it all
Well, maybe
down
the new
the tube,
AI might, who
will
knows? It's
will
our new AI.
become sentient and start threatening GM's lives.
Yeah, just starts throwing in the chat. No one will know
Yeah,
any difference.
yeah, that's true. Well, who knows? Maybe that's the next thing I need to invest in is an AI, a
Yes, get a
CSL
Twitter feed,
dedicated AI.
AI Twitter feed. That'd be
I love
fantastic.
that Twitter feed. I think I was sad when that went away,
Yep.
but yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's what AI can do for us, right? Might as
yeah,
well put it to work.
but yeah. So even though the Kings dropped one, congrats still on being in the lottery. Pick nine. Um, I would definitely love to have pick nine. So still a good place, but that means the Clippers are in the top four. So congrats, Clippers, on adding additional top end assets. So pick eight, we're up to. Technically, if we're following it, the Lakers would fall to pick eight, and they do. So the Waves, as the
Ah,
as the game
I
calls them.
I love it. Love the ulterior names here. Great,
Yep.
great stuff.
So the Waves will pick right before the Kings. Um, and
Now, of
yeah,
course, you
definitely a
know
young
where the
team.
name Lakers came from, right?
When they were, what were those, the Milwaukee Lakers? Is that what they
Was
were
it
years ago?
Minnesota or I
Or
think it's
Minnesota? Yeah,
it's the land of a
one of
thousand
those.
lakes.
Yeah, one of those Great Lakes. But
Yeah, there's
yes, they
plenty
were.
plenty of lakes in LA, so it makes sense, right?
Yeah. Um, but yeah, what are your thoughts here? What does this team need?
Um, it's not a lot of huge contracts, but a lot of mid-tier contracts, which is kind of murky, right? Sometimes it's good to get affordable guys, but if you get too many of them, then kind of makes it difficult to move. But I mean, relatively young team. I'm seeing a lot of 20s, 24s. So I just was this Jordan McLaughlin's the only one that really seeing that. And then Heenanson, Heenanson here. But other than that, I mean, you got a young team, which I always find fun with. So get your BPA here too. I think because I don't think there's really any tangible way forward with the current build here, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I am. So I think two of these are going to decline. I think he's going to free up 20 million, 20 almost 21 million in cap space here. So he'll knock this down to 30, 31 million, and then he'll be able to be a player in free agency. He's going to have to resign Mojave King. I think he's pretty high on him, although he was trying to trade him. So it's possible he does a sign and trade here. But point guard, like they have several options here. McLaughlin he's probably not going to bring him back. He doesn't need him. Scottie Pippen
Yeah.
Jr. was a rookie last year, solid player. I don't think he's a starter personally, but I think he's a great six man. Anthony Black is a solid starter, not a top end point guard, but a solid starter. Kobe White's a veteran who, everyone knows what he brings. Depending on what he does with Mojave King, they might need a shooting guard. They could use a forward. No one really stands out here, any of the forward positions. Center, he picked up Ware, who I really liked. I think he's a great defensive center. Sar was on the trading block, so maybe he makes a move there and grabs some other assets. It's going to be interesting. I think
Do
they
you
go
think
any
they
different
go
ways.
for it here, though? Do you think they really go for it in the free agency, or kind of let the draft dictate how they go forward?
You're a big draft dictate how you go forward
Yeah,
guy,
I
no
am. I
doubt. Though
really am because I
I
mean I
know
think that
that's what you're
that's the
thinking
way,
here.
right? But
This is the
I mean
way.
it's still young, right? So unless you can grab that star in free agency, do you really build a win now, or just kind of get a couple role players to shore up the long term situation? Maybe not
Yeah.
compete next year, but get a couple affordable contracts, maybe younger assets, and then maybe go for the big swing next year.
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to try to go for it next year, but they're slowly getting better. Since he's taken over this team, he's done a really good job of building the team, slowly getting better. They're not there yet. They're probably another year away, a year of team building away, especially when you have the Kings in your division. It's not going to be easy. So, yeah, definitely some options here. I think they're in a really good spot. Future looks bright, but again, they have to battle the Kings every single year, and
Not
that
a good
makes it
spot to be
difficult.
in that regard.
No, but it makes it interesting. You need some competition.
That's right.
Breeds,
Way to get better. Breed
Yep.
success.
There you go. So, all right, moving on. We're about halfway, a little over halfway through. We have seven more to decide. So pick seven. If everything falls the way it has been falling, the Nets, who are GM-less, would fall to pick seven. And they do. So the Nets go from 6 to 7,
It's actually the
unfortunately.
hoops. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the hoops, sorry. Um, but yeah, so the Nets, so they were, I think, champions last year. Then their GM went MIA, so they are now GM-less. Um, but this is a interesting situation. So what do you think they're doing here?
Well, again, once step one, get GM. Step two, I mean, a couple big contracts on the books. You got Shy here. I mean, probably a good little piece. I think a lot of people would be entertaining on acquiring if they could get him, but I don't know
Yeah.
if he's going to go anywhere without anyone calling the shots. I mean, maybe Daryl Morey's looking for a job after this year. He can come in and acquire this and put his best foot forward for this organization
Yeah.
because he needs
Yeah.
to
I think
get out
it's
of Philadelphia.
I know you're still pushing for that, but don't get your hopes up. I think we're stuck with them for at least another year. Um Yeah, I mean Shai's Aiton's their best player, but he is going to be 32, so he's starting to get to that point. He's still an absolute monster. Still the best defensive center in the league. I don't care what anyone says, but he's going to start losing a little bit of that ability, but still being super effective. Robert Williams is going to be 32. So yeah, their team's
Yeah,
all
you're
around the
getting.
same age.
I mean, it's a win now team, right? So,
Definitely a win
which
now team.
is which the problem is if you don't unless you somebody jumps on right away and adds to it, then it's probably time to sell to get some assets in this organization. So
Yeah, there are not a lot. I mean, there's very solid depth pieces, but not a lot out. They have this big three that has
yeah,
carried them
but the
for so
window is
long.
slowly closing here. So it's one of those you
Yeah,
either act now or forever hold your peace and find yourself in cap hell and with a bunch of assets that kind of expire and makes your
yeah,
rebuild a lot longer to do if you don't grab some returns in the present.
yeah. I think after next year, they'll clear 45 million between these two. They'll still have SGA on, but who knows? Maybe they trade him this year. If they do get a GM, it
Yeah.
might be smart to start thinking
Yep.
about the future. But
Yep.
if they don't, I think they have at least another year of being a top end team if they have a GM leading them. I mean, this team can still win a championship, in my opinion,
Well,
with the right
absolutely. But
moves.
again, you also consider the fact that we need a GM that is
Yeah,
knowledgeable
they
of
need
the
a GM. Yep.
exactly right. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
So it'll be interesting. It's a little murky because they don't have anyone at the top. Um,
yeah.
they just
But
have
again,
the
it's like I almost don't envy the role jumping into that organization just because if you don't win now, then phew, man, you got some work to do.
although the last two GMs who jumped into it, I think mid-season, both of them ended up winning a championship. So
Hmm.
they need very little guy. That big three can carry almost anyone to a championship, in my opinion.
Sure.
If you kind of know what you're doing, they'll
Hmm.
take you to a championship. Which is when you look at the roster, it's pretty clear what type of strategy they need. But for whatever reason, they need an active GM to tinker. They can't just go on autopilot.
That's why it's boring to win. That's why my team's not ready yet and might not be for a while. It's just
Yeah,
boring to win.
you're
Winning's
right.
not fun.
You're right.
It's all about potential.
There you go. That's your big motto, potential.
Potential's key.
Unlocking that potential. But all right, so top six we're at. So sixth again, if everything's falling with only one movement, it would fall to the Raptors. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, talk about potential. Talk about
feel like
potential.
yeah, I feel like I'm getting punked right now.
Yeah, that hurts. I don't know I actually don't know that you've ever really dropped in a lottery since you've been
Whew.
doing this. This might be, the tides they are a changing, as they say.
Well, I mean, gotta do what you gotta do, man. Feel like it's
So
gonna
that's
bound to happen eventually.
that hurts. So the Pacers dropped from third to sixth, which means Toronto's going to move up. Um, how's that feel? It's a shame this burn didn't pop up for you. You
Hey,
know, when
it's that'd be funnier if it did. Get to change my name to Burn.
so what are your thoughts
Yeah,
here, man?
I mean, I still have my pieces and I still have my youth, but I mean, it would have been nice to get one more. Um, so unfortunately, we're looking at what 6 or 7 right now.
You're looking at
So
six right now.
right outside of getting that nice piece. So much like everyone below me, it's going to be a BPA situation here. So I don't think there's any one position that really cries out because they're all younger. Um, it's just a matter of deciding on if I can hit with somebody and maybe move elsewhere if one of these guys end up busting. So
Yeah, it'll be interesting. There are five players in this draft who I think could be
it's
difference
what I'm
makers.
saying. So I'm
So
I'm
you're
number
right.
6.
Six is a tough spot, but
Seems like a
all you need is
microcosm of my life, right? Just you just so close. You're just there.
Um, but if one of those GMs, goes
Goes
off the
fit
board,
or yeah,
or yeah, goes
maybe
for fit, then
goes for fit.
someone's gonna fall into your lap too. But again, outside of those top five, there are another 10 players that are really good players.
Yeah, they're
They're just
probably
not
role
that.
players. They'll be nice,
I
they'll
think
be
they're
depth,
starters.
but
They're definitely starting level players.
mhm.
So you'll
Team
have,
needs a lot more than just depth at this point. So we'll see. It's not like
but at
something needs
worst
to
case, you
control.
have the
So
top pick of that next tier,
yeah,
which is
yeah,
not a bad position to be in.
could be worse. Well, it could have been much better, but could be
Could have
worse
been
though. So
better. Could have been worse. But
hmm
um,
story of my life. Just put that on
yeah,
my gravestone.
yeah. I mean, technically, you could have dropped to seventh. That's the worst. That's as bad as it could have got. You didn't go that far back, at least. But yeah, your team. I mean, I still really like your roster. You should be doing better than you are with this roster. You do have
Well,
to
again,
re-sign
it's just yeah.
Suggs, who is one of my
Suggs will be the big
fave
one.
players. If you don't want to
Um,
resign him, I will happily take him off your hands.
well,
Um,
see, S and Ts are always available, just in case you're shopping or looking into it.
20, yeah, he'll be 24. Yeah, he's a beast.
Yep, nice and young. Like I said, the roster's young, just the way I like it. It's a
Roster's
lot of
young.
fun.
You have your center, you have your point guard. Those are like the two hardest positions to fill. You already have
Yep.
your two
So
cornerstone
in that
pieces.
regard, it's not a game changer getting this sixth pick, but
No, I don't think anyone's gonna cry
well, I
when
know
you're
no one will
looking at your
cry.
roster.
Maybe Doug, so I'm chime in, but other than that,
Um, Denny, look at Denny.
hmm
Yeah, I mean, you also, yeah, Grimes he fell into your lap last year.
maybe
He
I'll
was a
get
good
lucky
pickup.
again. Who knows? But I like the core here. I mean, like you said, this year will be signing Suggs, but other than that, um, yeah, there you go. You'll cry for me. Looks like I called it out. But yeah, again, not a bad position. Could have been much better, but gotta work with what I got. So
Yeah. Yeah, not terrible. Not great, but not terrible. But the Raptors are surely happy for how this has
hey,
unfolded so
good on
far,
them. You know,
as well as the Clippers. So,
don't hate the player, hate the game, as they say. Am I right?
yep, it's another one.
Just throw it right up
You're just
there.
popping them out, man. All right, so we're into the top five. Um, Next in line, technically, would be the Celtics. So far, we know Toronto and the Clippers are moving into the top four. The Pacers have fallen out. We'll see if the Celtics get lucky and stay in the top four, if they move back. And they do move back. And here goes
Ooh,
the number one.
ooh.
This is the rule. Do not be the worst team. I'm pretty sure the worst team has always gone from 1 to 5. I don't think, or like it's unbelievable. There you go. Doug's just twisting the knife.
It's okay. I mean, you can only beat a dead horse here, right? It's my emotions are completely spent, so I
Yeah.
appreciate that call back there. But yeah, yeah, I
It
feel
could
like
be
at this
worse. You
point
could
it's
be the
almost
Warriors.
like programmed in here. It's
I
competitive
would
balance, right?
I
You
would
never want to
never
finish last.
I
You
would
never want
never
to
want to
finish
finish
last.
last in
Yeah,
DDS. This, for
and
whatever reason, it always drops. I think one time it actually stuck, and I think it was like the Jazz or like Phil or something had it, and it stayed. Um, but yeah, it's it's unfortunate that I feel bad for Ryan, but it's like
yeah, it's never good.
you never want to be the worst team. You want
No,
to tanking.
I've been there before. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not great.
tanking for the bottom never works. So you gotta aim for that.
Yeah, the 2-3 spot is the happy
You
spot,
think
but
that's the
not
happy
3 at
spot?
least. Yeah, it's got to be 2 or 3.
Well, three didn't work out for you too well,
No, no, it didn't. No,
but most years it's
back to
not too
drawing board.
bad.
No, no.
But yeah, so let's take a look at these Warriors. So they'll be picking fifth. They're still, like I said, there are five, in my opinion, potential
Hey,
stars
it's
in this
better than me.
class.
So I mean, you're at least in that top 5. So that's kind of nice.
He's in the top five, but it's going to be whoever falls. He's not going to have his choice. It's going to be whoever falls to him, unless other GMs make different. Everyone has a different board. Everyone's board's different, which is the fun part.
Yeah,
Um, but
but that's
Golden
the way to
State,
go. Hopefully,
yeah,
one of them fall. He takes that one. Doesn't really overthink it too much.
yeah. I mean, this team has one player who's a keeper, I think, and that's Castle, who they got.
Yeah,
He was the second pick. He should have been the first pick, in my opinion. So they lucked into this last year. So I don't feel too bad. Um, but outside of him, there's no one here who I'm like, wow, this guy's a stud. You got to keep him. and they're
Yeah,
locked into all these contracts pretty much outside of
that's
Scotty.
yeah. It's to me, it looks like you're kind of. I mean, you're under the cap, but it's still contract hell. You got
Yeah.
a lot of middle tier contracts, unless they, maybe they pan out. But
See,
um,
look, they sat Castle, sat Barnes for the last couple games.
what are you trying to say here?
I'm just saying, this is the
What?
stuff that bites GMs always. You never want to be that worst team. It never works. Um, Not in DDS at least. So, um, yeah, it'll be interesting. Barnes is a RFA. I'm interested how much he goes for. Had a definitely a solid year, but he's a specific type of player. I feel like, but they're locked into pretty much all these contracts. They're not going
Yeah,
to have.
I mean, you really have to get creative here to kind of free yourself up and go maybe a different direction if this is not going to work out for you.
Yeah, they won't be a player in free agency unless they make some
Yeah,
trades, I guess.
yeah.
But
I mean, some people like that kind of stuff, right? Give yourself a challenge here, right? That's what you were suggesting that the Kings do, I think, right? Just burn it down and rebuild from the ground up.
I mean, I think everyone
Give
would love
everyone
to
else
see
a
the
chance.
Kings burn it down. But if they sell their roster, they're going to have 50 first round picks, and they're all
Well,
going to
that's
end up
true too. Yeah. Well,
top five picks, and
they'll
then
probably the best
yeah,
drafts and all that kind of stuff. And
yeah,
slam.
it's not going to work out. If it happens, it's not going to work out for the league. So it
No,
doesn't. We're
no, not at
screwed
all.
one way or another. Um, but yeah, so yeah, it's unfortunate for the Warriors, but I am not surprised based on how this comes out. I do think, like I said, I think they have one keeper. The rest of these players are solid. A couple solid starters, um, solid depth players. So
I
they
mean, if
have.
you could sell them at the right time for the team that's
This dude is
missing
so
that one
garbage.
piece, then
How
maybe
did
you can get something out of it. But you have to be kind of active to get this team back on, or this roster on the back on the right track here.
this guy such garbage? I remember him coming out in the draft. So bad.
It's the
I
kind of
can't
hard hitting
believe.
fact we're known for here. Don't pull any punches.
Yeah, I just remember him coming out thinking this dude so much hype, but he was such trash from his scouts. And he's not failing to deliver D leaguer. But sorry, Ryan, no luck brought to you in this live
Well, at least you got me
lotto.
by one,
But
so
yeah,
congrats
you
on
beat
that.
DJ if it makes you feel better. So you both
That's a big
suffered.
thing.
You can commiserate together. But all right, so the fun part, top
There
four,
we
it's going to be
go.
end of Phoenix, Boston, Toronto, and the Clippers. So who's going to end up with the fourth pick? And it is the Celtics. So they stay at
Uh,
four. Could be worse. Could obviously be better.
take from
But
experience.
the fans in Toronto, the fans in LA are definitely very happy to see that Boston team
Hmm.
drop to, or not drop, but stick around at four. So um, Boston, they have a GM who started last year. I really like what this GM's doing. He's doing a great job, focusing a lot on defense, which I really do appreciate. But
That's
this
the
is a
way to
very,
go.
yeah, he did a great job of selling off assets. Um, so he's gonna have flexibility here, a little bit of flexibility in free agency, not a ton this year,
I
but
say
he'll
you
start
still
to
have
build
a
that.
little bit of work to do, but I mean, you're definitely on the right track. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, I think
not a lot here.
they have some solid players. I think they got a boost, a +10 from. I think this dude had a +10, maybe I forget, but they are focusing on the defensive side. Definitely, I've noticed. So, um, yeah, very young roster. They did get Maxi for pretty cheap, I think.
It's our boy.
Um, so he's a kind of a one trick pony, but he's really good at that trick. Um, but otherwise, this is like another blank slate. Can't
But I think
really.
it's the way to go. You build defense early. You might not win ball games, but you finally get that big splashy pick.
Yep.
He becomes the focal point of the offense, and then you can take a leap into it and maybe get a couple role players to score. But um, they just get rid of some of the contracts, some of the older heads, and this group is in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is it's a solid roster. It's not a great roster yet, but
It doesn't
for a
need to
pick
be. It doesn't
situation.
need to be a great roster yet.
Yeah, they have all their first, and they have the
Yep.
two additional picks. Granted, they're late picks, um, but still, you never know what can happen with them. We've seen some late picks turn into really solid players. So um, if
Shout out
you do
Adrian
your
Payne.
homework, yeah, yeah, seriously, he was a beast for how many years. But if you do your homework, you can really hit on some of these picks. So a good
Just accelerate
situation.
the timeline. That's all.
Yeah, definitely a solid situation to be in. Again, they could go any direction they really want to and kind of see what happens. But they stick at 4, which is not a bad thing. So good for the C's there. All right, so we're gonna fall into the top 3
Here we go.
and the Clippers. So the Clippers moved from 9 to 3. That's a great jump. You know, you can't be mad. You didn't get the top pick.
Yeah, I mean you're
Um,
you're in these top three here from where you started.
yeah, you really can't be too mad about that. So congrats to the Clippers and their fans. Congrats to Marcus here. He's very similar to your team. I feel like they have a lot. They've been drafting high for a long time.
But look at
Sold a
that
lot of
blank
talent.
slate. Ah, I love that.
Uh,
Looks
yeah, they're
fantastic.
probably depending on what happens with some of these player options, and this he's probably going to cancel that, my guess. But depending on what happens here, see how much of a player he is in free agency. But they've been drafting high for a while. They got Topic, was last year's rookie, top end point guard. Um, Very solid player, going to be really good offensively, top end distributor. So they have their point guard already. Jalen Williams, they drafted a couple years ago. He's really like the ultimate glue guy. Um, yeah, like not going to be your top end scorer, but very efficient and can do a little bit of everything. Great defensive player. Vince Williams, I didn't love him coming out of the draft. He was their rookie last year. I don't know if he got a boost, but I didn't love that pick. They have Jeremy Sochan here, who's just a all around beast as well. Um, they drafted Harold Yu. He was very raw and doesn't look like he's doing much. So they have players. They have a lot of youth. Um, I don't know. What are your thoughts here? What's this team need? What direction are they going to go in?
Well, this is this is cut from the cloth here for me. It's just I love having the flexibility and prospect, and there's not a lot on the books. You don't have to worry about salaries and contracts here. You kind of let opportunities fall to you, and then kind of springboard off of that. So, getting the third pick here is great. I mean, this is gonna definitely accelerate everything, and um, you have youth, but same situation where I don't kind of uh, focus in on one position or whatever. Get
Yeah,
that top five talent, whoever falls to you, and let that dictate your path forward because you're not really locked in anything at this moment, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah. I think it's a great position for them to be in.
Yep.
They'll have solid talent. They could use some forward help. Um, but I think they have really good depth, good youth. Could still use some little bit of star power, but I think that their point
But
guard is
do
going to
you
end up
need
being
the
there.
star power at this point, right?
No, you don't. I
So
mean, the Kings
exactly.
have proven you don't need, although Kofi's been a beast for them. But there have been several teams who win without that, you know, superstar leading the way and that
Yep.
25 point per game scorer. So
Yep.
there are definitely different ways to build a team that GMs have continued to prove, which I think is always interesting. So congrats to the Clips for getting that third pick, jumping 6 spots, which is huge. So,
Here we
um,
go.
but here we go. So the top 2. So we're just going to rattle them off, just so that we can crown the lottery champion. But pick 2 is going to be Toronto,
There
which
it
means Phoenix
is.
will land the top pick. So,
2 was the lucky number this year.
yep. So Toronto. So the Clippers had the biggest jump technically, but Toronto did jump 3 spots from 5 to
The
2, and the
Dinos.
Suns jump a spot. Yeah, those Dinos, kind of hot in those Dinos. Um, all right, so we'll start with 2, the Raptors, before we congratulate the Suns for getting the top pick. But um, this is a team, so they picked up Shaden Sharp. I think he was 4th. Yeah, so can't remember if they moved up or moved back. I think they moved back last year, but they still picked up a really solid player in Sharp, who's like he's kind of like Maxi. He's going to be a great scorer. and that's his go-to talent. So he's going to be their primary scorer. I don't even know what did he do this year. Shaden Sharp, yeah, he didn't do that good yet, but that's what always happens for top end scorers their rookie year. Then the second year, they double that, and then they're tripling that number by their third year. So, um, yeah, so this is an interesting roster. What are your
Yeah.
what do you think is going to happen
Yeah, I
here?
mean, it's pretty young, which is nice. A couple of older heads, but it's not anything that is uh, you know, unattainable. Look at the contracts here. Not too bad. A couple of things coming off the books looks like. Um, but yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, jumping from where they were to where they got. I mean, you take that and you run with it, and I think
Yeah,
that they're in pretty good shape here, though. Looking at that.
yeah, Smilagic, it'll be interesting. I think he's on a sign and trade for the trade block. So I wonder what they'll do there. They're not going to really be free agent players this year, um,
Yeah, I
but
don't
they
think
don't
they
really
need
have.
to be
They don't need
either,
to
right?
be. I think they're
Yeah.
just building through the draft at this point and some minor
Well,
free agent
number two is
signings.
going to help you. So,
Yeah, they have. They still have a long way to go. This team.
oh
I
yeah,
don't.
definitely. It's not going to
They did
be
a trade
overnight.
for Mays last year. I think he had a solid year. I'm still not a huge Skylar Mays fan, but he had a really solid year for them. So who am I?
Yeah, who are you?
Walter Ellis is solid. Shaden Sharp, I think, is their so far probably their building block, and I guess this number two pick will be their other building block.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, I think this is a team that needs talent, so I think it's good that they ended up with the second pick. Um, I think it's a good move for them, and never can hurt moving up. So, but this is a team that definitely needs high end talent, so they'll be able to get that, which is great. Um, yeah, I think it's definitely good for Toronto. They need it. But
Congrats to the Dinos.
yep, those dinos. And for clarification, Ryan, the Warriors GM, um, he reminded me that they did not sit Castle and try to
Oh.
tank. That it was because there was, you probably don't know this, but during the playoffs there was a issue with the Cleveland D League team, the Canton team, that forced us to have to go back and it reset um, everyone's depth charts. So that's the reason why it looks that
Oh.
way. So it was not a end of year try for that top um, pick, but
Yeah, this is what
just to
happens when you
clarify,
you have your opinions here, John, without the facts first. You got to learn your lesson here.
who uses facts anymore? Facts are
What
overrated.
are facts? What are
Yeah,
facts?
that's true. So then, congrats to the Phoenix Suns. They moved from 2 to 1. So one of the worst teams. They were the second worst team in the league this year. Um, However, a little surprising to look at this. I guess the depth charts are all messed up, so I won't be able to tell anything because of that. Um, but this is a team that has been drafting high for a few years as well. I actually do like this roster a lot. Um,
Well, I mean, the roster kind of reflects the output this year, but like you said, they have the youth, they have the cap space, they have the money coming off the books. Um, it's not a bad position to be in. So the rich get richer here too, as well. Get that high pick, can plug and play wherever you want, and
yeah,
really
they'll
doesn't seem
it'll be
handcuffed to any one
interesting.
spot. So which is nice.
They have to re-sign Cade. He's probably the only one. I don't think they're going to bring back either the Jalen twins here. They have to re-sign Cade, who's going to demand a good bit. He's a big. I know the GM's a big Cade fan. Yeah, he had a very solid year again. Um, I know he was inefficient in the past, but he's starting to pull that field goal percentage up a little bit. Um, Good 3-point shooter. But yeah, so what is Tumani Kamara? He was a really good pick. Um, Better pick up that rookie option though, or they're gonna regret that. Really like this pick. Chet Holmgren, solid player. Cam Thomas is a scorer. Pretty much that's all he can do. Keontae George, I really like. I think he was a free agent pickup for them. Cole Anthony, solid, another free agent pickup, and then Cade. So they have some solid players. Even Sunogo is solid. They definitely have some really solid players here. It's just a matter of what else do they really need. This
Well,
guy got,
yeah.
yeah,
I
he's
mean,
still young.
it's grab that number one. The pressure is always on number one too, right?
It is number one. I don't know. I would need to look at my
Draft board
scouts.
there.
I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't. I just have a bunch of scouts sitting waiting to be analyzed. So Ryan put out a new tool.
Blessing and a curse, right?
Yeah, the
The
number
first
one.
pick,
Unless there's like a top end. Um, like it's. I don't. I
but it's
don't
the
think.
ultimate decision, right? Do you take the BPA or do you take the best player that's available in that one position if you have your heart set on it, right? So sometimes redundancy isn't such a bad thing here if you can get creative.
Yeah, I feel
Um,
like. Yeah, I feel like point guard and small forward probably have the best players in this draft. So maybe they do go. Yeah, I think that. I mean, it's a great position to be in. It's a great
yeah,
problem
well,
to have.
yeah,
But it
that's
is true
correct.
that all the pressure. Yeah, all the pressure is
Yeah,
going to
all
be
the pressure in the
on
world. Do
them.
you just take the best player, or if you already have that role covered, do you go for number two and talent wise, or hopefully there's not a glut in one position that you don't need. That would be
Yeah,
that'll be a curse as well. But again, not a bad position to be in.
yeah, yeah, for sure. But it's yeah, that's good. Good for them. They need it. Always like seeing teams that need roster help get these
Yeah,
instead of teams like
Indiana
I don't know
Pacers.
any of the. No, I'd be okay with the Pacers, but like the Kings didn't need it. We didn't need it. Miami didn't need it. As long as those three teams didn't bump up, I think that's good for league parity. So,
Agreed.
but yeah, so congrats to the Suns, and the Dinos and the Clippers. I really just want to change them to the
What are the
Dinos
yeah?
now.
So what are the Clippers? I can't even read that.
The Commodores,
I thought it said commies for a second. I was like, oh, okay, that's an
the
interesting
Los
spin.
Angeles Commies.
Commies.
Yeah, DDS says
There you
Gary's
go.
really um but yeah, so congrats there. Any final thoughts on the lottery before I
I
get
mean,
your input on the rest of the playoffs?
say other than the fact that tanking never pays, and even though it might not have been tanking, number one doesn't seem to be lucky. We're still waiting on that 16-1 upset with those last two jumping up a little bit. Never happened yet. And
Yeah, I mean,
looks like I got burned a little bit this year, but at least the burn didn't pop up when
yeah,
my spot
that would
did.
have been
So
funny. It's another thing I got to work on the AI sending
there you go.
graphics whenever
Oh,
someone
so I'm
drops.
expecting some fireworks next year,
Yep.
montage, the whole bit.
Um, what are your thoughts on the playoffs? You got the Kings Blazers. Kings are up 1-0, and then the Knicks Sixers. Sixers are up 1-0 on the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, let's just go with Kings probably because they just always seem to get the job done.
Gonna go
And
against gonna get it go
yeah,
against Doug like that, huh?
yeah, yeah. The Red 12. God, all it was a long weekend. I don't want to regale you in a long story. And then let's go Sixers. Got to go Sixers, right? Trust the process.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I'm
you know what?
glad that the fake Sixers are actually
As
able
least,
to
as
win.
long as any Sixers can do well, then just let
Yeah,
me know
maybe
when the
Rocks.
finals tickets go on sale so I can spectate a Sixers championship.
Maybe
So I'm
the
gonna throw my
Ohio
hat in the lot. We'll
Rocks.
say Sixers.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing. I think it's still early. The Kings
Yeah,
Blazers, I think
only
it's
one
still too
game in,
early
but
there. But the Knicks are not. Andrew's not even around, so I want the Sixers to make it just because I want an active GM in it. But um,
even me,
yeah,
if I
yeah,
found
you can
myself
step
there.
in. Do you want to be the Knicks GM for
No, I would not want to be
the
involved in
series?
anything with the New York anything. Thank
Yeah,
you very much.
I don't blame you. But yeah, we'll see. So congrats to the lottery winners, but also good luck to the teams still competing in the conference finals. And it's been an entertaining playoff so far, which the Kings continue to rally back when down pretty big. So um, the fact that they're up, if I was them, I might actually feel a little bit nervous about it and say, "Oh, it's are we going to be the ones that blow the lead?" So, but looking forward to the rest of the playoffs. Looking forward to the off season. Always looking forward to see what Indiana does with their draft picks. Um,
It's always the hot commodity in these drafts.
yep. But congrats to the lottery winners. Congrats to this guy for always showing up and
It's
looking
like
his
Cody
best.
Rhodes there or something.
Yeah, he does look like good Rhodes a little bit. That's funny. Um, but yeah, any final words, TJ, before we relieve you of your biannual duty?
Oh, just thanks for having me as usual. Congrats to the big jumpers, and I envy the dinos and the commies getting above me here, but and
Blame this guy.
I
Blame this guy right here. You need a new
I just need
representative.
I want Adrian Payne every year. Just put him there, and then we'll
That's
have
the
some
next
luck.
thing. Yeah, we need to
Let's
get faces on here
we
on
get
these guys.
everyone submit your headshots and put them on
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Next year is going to be fantastic. Can't wait for that draft lottery. It's going to be upgraded. We're throwing around
So
some
upgraded.
ideas. Oh yeah,
Gonna be
the AI.
so many upgrades.
AI is going to be crazy next year.
Yeah. Speaking of AI, we probably could hire Allen Iverson to be on this too. It probably would be pretty cheap to get
He
him
probably would. That's
to
actually a
get
good
him on
point. Good
this
point.
for the next. So maybe we'll even have him on here as well. So
Oh boy,
both
that would be
versions of
great.
AI. Yeah. I'm not even I bet it would only cost a couple $100s to get him on here for an
It's
hour.
all it takes.
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm
Um
in.
yeah. But all right. Well, I appreciate you, TJ, as always,
Thank you.
and
I
your fine
appreciate
commentary
you.
and not, CSL knowledge that you always
CSL
provide.
knowledge and one liner quips and
Yep. All those quotes that,
feel
you
free to
know,
everyone to use them in their daily life.
I know I will. And congrats again to the lottery winners, especially the Commodores, Dinos, and I don't even know what they call the Suns in
Commies,
this game.
commies. Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, well, that's it, CSL. Good luck the rest of the way and for the four remaining playoff teams. And we will see you in the off season. Bye, everyone.
Later, y'all.